Hey everybody, welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam, and you are joining us for yet another It Belongs in a Museum. And this is a stream where we are basically going to talk about two different games that are on my shelves that are at least 5 years old. And of course, they get older than that as well. But we do this so that we can kind of shift the focus on older games. Games that have probably fallen out of the spotlight for one reason or another. And so that if you're, perusing your local Goodwill or Salvation Army or secondhand store, whatever it might be, and you see one of these things on the shelf, you'll know that it is at least a decent game. Whether you'll like it or not, I don't know, but it's stayed on my shelves for a number of years. So that's what we do here. David is here. What's up? Good to see you. Thank you for being here, David. Got the second batch of cookies in the oven just in time. Very cool. Micah is here. Well, hello, Micah. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Jeff is here. Hello, all. Nubbins86 is here. Cookies. That's funny. Jess went to a cookie swap get together, fellowship, whatever, and on Saturday, and that was the first time I had ever heard of something like that happening. So I'm just not the socialite, I guess, but that was a new concept. So basically, with the cookie swap, you make a dozen cookies for everybody that's going to be there, and everybody else does the same, and you all just kind of swap dozens of cookies. And you get different kinds of cookies without having to cook different kinds of cookies. I've never heard of that before. Was interesting. Gunnar is here. What's up? Good to see you. Dustin is here. Terrier is here. Good to see y'all. Micah, username display must now just be a feature of YouTube instead of a bug. Yeah, I know. That's kind of strange. Hey, fam. And so do you. Thank you, Philip. Good to see you. We don't swap them. We eat them. Well, that's the thing. We eat them too, but they're currently being, they're in the freezer so that they will stay good until we do get around to eating them. We don't eat them all as voraciously as we probably want to. For obvious reasons, but Ryan, just remember your avatar. That's correct. The Sabaton concert was fine. Totally not the best show around. You didn't miss an epic show where they dropped bombs on the stage during Night Witches. If you had left out some of the details, I might have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. It was my attempt at having Grok come up with a board game cover from the 2000s. Interesting. Vanessa is finally back home. I had a wonderful trip, but it felt great to sleep in my own bed again. I can certainly understand that. That's one of the... It doesn't matter how comfortable the bed is. There's just something about your bed. And it's like all of your germs just welcome you home. And it just feels more cozy. But yes, totally get that. So good to see everyone here. Thank you for being here. If you are new here, if you're not, we'll just, this is for everybody that's new here. What we do here is we take a couple of games off of my shelves that are older, 5 years or older, and we showcase them. Now, there's informational value in that. Full stop. However, in order to make it fun, what we do is we make a little bit of a contest out of it. So the first game, I'm going to give you a couple of clues about what game we're going to talk about, and then you can use your BGG Foo or your Google Foo and try to figure out what game we're going to be talking about first. The first person to do that the fastest will get a prize package from us. Now, the prize package is usually just going to be a couple of stickers from the Flipside, and then they look like this right here, by the way. And a gaming something. It could be a game that I'm just getting rid of. It could be an expansion for a game. It could be the game that I have a duplicate of and I don't need two of them around the house. Generally speaking, though, it won't be the game that we talk about. It'll be something else that I send you free of charge. And if you are the winner, then you'll have to send me an email at flipsideobg@gmail.com with your shipping information so that I can get that to you. Now, sometimes it takes a week or two for me to get those things out because I'm forgetful. And when I'm going anywhere near the post office, I forget to take stuff that I need to ship out. So it sometimes takes you a little while. For example, I haven't sent out last week's winners yet. There were only 2 of them. So it's not that I'm trying to, do it all bulk and save some money on shipping. Nope, that's not it. I'm just forgetful. So, but we get them out to you within about a week or 2. Generally speaking, unless I forget you and have to be reminded. That's happened before in the past as well. But that's what we do. So, let's see here. I used to work away all the time, so whenever I slept at night, I just called home to make it easier. That's cool. I'm sure you get used to it. When you're gone all the time, my travel buddy has no issue sleeping anywhere. Nah. Don't be sorry. That is not why I said anything about that. I want you to remind me, because if you don't, and I completely space on not sending you what I told you I would send you, that's going to stick in your craw, and I'm not going to be any of the wiser about it. And so I don't want that to happen. So please remind me. Please remind me. Alexander Meldrum has been a member. He's been a goonie for 11 months. Thank you for being here, Alexander. Can't wait for Marvel United to be here starting 2026. Vanessa says, I'm better sleeping away from home than I used to be, but it can still be a struggle sometimes. Yeah, I get it. Totally get it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. And thank you, Alexander, for being that member for 11 months. That's awesome. And thank you to everybody else. By the way, we are killing the Shelf of Shame. 10 more games off the list this weekend. Obviously lighter, mostly small box games, but it is still feels good to see the number going down. So you're probably around 30, I think is what you said. You said 40 last time. Vanessa got called out on Tom's Q&A for talking about long cruises. It's universally unaccepted. I agree. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start in. The first game we're going to talk about today hails from the year 2015. So that's everybody's first clue. 2015 is the year of publication for the first game that we're going to talk about. And it is... let's see, and then I give you a couple of the mechanisms that are involved. A couple of the mechanisms. So I give you the first clue is the year of publication, 2015. And then, I didn't know this was, interesting. All right, that's cool. Second clue is that it is a cooperative game and it has pattern building. All right, so the first clue is that it's from the year 2015, and the second clue are 2 of the mechanisms, which are a cooperative game, and it has pattern building in it. So now you guys can go ahead and start guessing. Whoever guesses correctly first will be the winner of the prize. Now, if you have recently won and you would like to, in the spirit of the season, give your winnings to someone, I ask that you would do so with someone who is in chat, and then we'll ask them for their shipping address instead, and so forth and so on. 32, we can play ourselves 5 3+ player games and 2 4+ player games still left. Wow, that's not bad. Blame my friend. He's the one who recommended going on the incorrect cruise. But see, here's the thing. You are supposed to have that argument, not us. Jeff says Clax. Terrier says it's that game that's called something. No, that doesn't count. That's not an okay guess. Sorry. Fuse, Philip says. Kingdom Death Monster, Alexander says. Alexander, you should know I don't have Kingdom Death Monster on my shelves. On the phone, so can't be GG. No worries. Fuse stressed me all the way out. Yes. Sylvanus or Sylvanus, Micah says. No, that's not correct. Star Trek 5-year mission. Nope. Cooperative pattern building the game, Vanessa says. No, that's not correct. But BGG app now has advanced search. Shahrazad. No, that's actually also not correct. I have to leave the stream to use BGG, so nah. Dead Men Tell No Tales is a great co-op game from 2015, though. That is correct. I don't own that one either. I know you don't, but I had to guess it. Okay, all right. Well, that's fair, I guess. All right. Well, a lot of games have been mentioned. Dead Men Tell No Tales, Shahrazad, Star Trek 5-year mission, Sylvanus, Fuse, Kingdom Death Monster. But Jeff, in very real fashion, normal fashion, has got it correct with Clax. Where did I put it? This is very strange. I didn't even pull it off the shelf. I was just like, yeah, we'll do that one. That is actually kind of funny. I didn't even pull it off the shelf, but yes, I had planned on doing Clax. Now, the Clax is a Terry Pratchett. It's a game based on the Terry Pratchett novels in the Discworld universe. So there you have it. Jeff, you are correct. So there you go. Pack O game set 1. No. Katini Shayagar? Katini Shayagar. I have no idea what that. Has anyone not won in a while? LOL. Nice. Shows you how much he prepped for the stream. Yeah, right. Well, I did actually prep. I'm not like, you know, I knew what I was going to talk about. The other game is sitting right here. I just forgot to take this off. Vanessa. All right, so this is a game by a company called Backspindle Games, and I need to change. Wait, do I? Yeah, no, I need to change it because it was upside down. There we go. All right, so it is based on the Discworld novel Going Postal by Sir Terry Pratchett. Using a semaphore system of shuttered lamps on top of high towers, the Grand Trunk Semaphore Company has revolutionized long-distance communications on the Discworld. Their network of towers covers most of the unnamed continent, but now the old postal service is fighting back. Driven by the determination of newly volunteered postmaster Moist von Lipwig, the Ankh-Morpork post office has challenged the Clax operators to a race from Ankh-Morpork to Genua. Play against your friends and claim the title of fastest Clax operator on the line, or play together as a team to win the race across the Discworld and prove that Clax is here to stay. All right, so that is what this is. And I'm interested, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Ryan, because as I was looking at the game, True Flip Lid game, bingo! So here's the thing. It says that it actually re-implements Kodinka, which is interesting because I've had this game on my shelves for some time and I never realized that, and I have Kodinka as well. I never realized that it re-implements Kodinka. But anyway, let's go ahead and get down to the table, and we'll take a look at clacks. All right, so here is the operator's manual. I think that was an interesting choice to have the rule book be like so. But anyway, you have the different components that are here. The basic rule set, the clacks alphabet, which tells you what letter you are forming whenever you form when you open the different lamps and so forth and so on. Some of the rules that are associated with the cards, transmitting a letter, all that good stuff. So this is the rule book. And what is this? Rule summary for clacks competitive game. All right, so there's that. I just like that. I think that was an interesting, have that operator's manual look to it. Here is the board, and we'll put it down there so that, wow, goodness, I can tell I haven't played this one in a while. There we go. Well, it's kind of okay. Anyway, you have these different starting points. Looks like it might be for team play. You have 2 people start here, 2 people, I don't know. But you kind of get the idea. Finish is Genoa over here. And then you have the start of Ankh-Morpork over here. And these are where the different lamps are going to be put. It does come with a pretty neat little bag. Barely big enough for my hand to go in there. But you have your alphabet thingy here. You have the different, these are wooden. And yes, they did have to have stickers put on them for the actual thing. So you have a closed side here and the open side here. So as it's out there on the board, closed lamp, open lamp. Does that make sense? And oh, there's one that I didn't sticker. That's probably a anyway, you get the idea, yeah. So that's what all those are. Then you have a whole bunch of tiles, and these are the actual things where you're trying to get the sprockets in the right order, or the lamps rather in the right order. And these are, you know, not awesome, but they are chunky cardboard tiles. So cool. There is a timer. So a sand timer that's in there. You have a bunch of wooden cubes, and the wooden cubes, I can't remember what they are for. Transmitter or transmit markers. That's what these are. Transmit markers, and again, they're just those, you know, wooden cubes that you see in most, well, many games, at least. I wouldn't say most, but maybe most. You have some meeples here, one for every team, I believe, and then you also have a I don't know what this guy is. He might be like the postmaster or something to that effect. I was right. The post office marker. And then you have different player pawns here. So one is, this guy's a little bit bigger than the other ones, but they're just regular old meeples. Nothing really extravagant. And then you also have these different towers that are also, my thumb is still kind of recovering from having a square inch of skin ripped off of it, but these are the clack tower pieces. And they are just yellow wood. Wood. I'm not going to open that one. I'm going to use the one that's already open. Now, some people have been talking about how they've never heard of this. I've never read the books either. I am familiar with Terry Pratchett from some of his other books, but here are some of the words that you have to work at transmitting. And again, you have the code of what it needs to be, the different lamp stands and so forth that have to be open, but that's basically what these are. Then you also have some, I believe these are like event cards that will have you do certain things throughout the course of the game. Things like turning all the lamp tiles on, turning all of them off, draw no jacards this turn, play only one jacard this turn, that kind of stuff. So just little event type cards. And then you have other, I think these are all still just event cards. But some of them are, these might be the actual event cards. These are, I think, good guy event cards, and I think these are bad guy event cards. Anyway, I don't know exactly. It's been, like I said, it's been a long time since I played it. But it's an interesting game where you're trying to submit all of these different letters, and you can work cooperatively, or you can work competitively for anywhere from 2, 3, or 4 players. But that's pretty much it. Clacks. Backspindle is a good company. I don't know that they're around any longer. I think I saw a post that they had disbanded, but you can still pick up their games, and I would imagine, but I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly how or where, but if you can pick this up and you're a fan of that universe, well, that might be something to take a look at. That goes in there. This comes in here. And then we fold up like so. Boom, boom, boom. And that goes in there. And that goes in there. All right. Let's see. No screen printing 10 years ago? Nope, not at all. There was a Discworld game for the PlayStation that was one of my favorite games. I've not been able to find it on any platform. It had voiceovers from some of the Monty Python crew. Oh, that's cool. They're also available as browser games. I used the Scum engine, I think. Played it again a few years ago at any rate. Oh, interesting. Stefan is here. What's up, Stefan? Good to see you. I played last weekend 3 new to me games. Quite happy about that. Very cool. Which ones did you play? Time to do the exit advent calendar with the wife. We'll catch the rest in the replay. Have a good one. See you later, Terrio. Take care. Switch camera. I thought I did. Did I not? Yeah, I did. I did. Okay. Now I'll switch camera. Just putting stuff back. You tell me to switch the camera. Why? I don't understand. All right, let's see here. Jeff, did you find somebody else to get your prize given to them? Actually, you know what? Here's my thing. No, I mean, I did for the actual showing of the game, but then now I came back. Spectacular, Twinkle Twinkle, and Roaring 20. Spectacular is a very fun game. Did you enjoy that one? I really enjoy Spectacular, actually. Jeff, here's what I want you to do, buddy. If you want to give your prize away, Just give it to somebody and say, hey, you're getting it, period. Cookies are out of the oven. You may continue with the next game. All right, will do. But that's what I want you to do, Jeff. I just want you to pick somebody. You randomly pick somebody, or not randomly. Maybe there's somebody in the chat that you want to pick, and there's nothing random about it. You don't even have to give the reason for it. Just do it. Don't ask, because people generally don't want to take something that has been given to somebody else. It's just a stigma in their brain sometimes. So just pick somebody, yourself included. If you want to get it, then just say yourself, or just pick somebody, and we'll go from there. Okay, going on to the next game, because we've been given permission to by David. So there we have it. All right, so the next game that we're going to be talking about, the next person to message anything gets it. Wow, thanks for shutting down the entire chat, Jeff. It's like a forced Secret Santa. That's right, you don't get a choice. You have to be blessed. Just take it. Thanks, Jeff, for shutting down the chat. I appreciate you, buddy. That's awesome. All right. Philip, congrats. He nailed it. Okay, so here we go. This game that we're going to talk about next. So now that Jeff has chosen Philip, you got to email me. There you go. That's how that works. This one was done. Thanks for being a team player. That's amazing. Let's see here. All right, this one came out at 2016, and a couple of the mechanisms that are available are open drafting and connections. Open drafting and connections. I think probably what happened, though, is as Jeff was typing it, you typed something in, and then he hit send, and so it's just, that's the way it works, bro. That's just the way it works. So you're going to have to take it. He wants to give it to you. So just say thank you, and you're good to go. So the two clues are 2016, 2016, that's the year, and a couple of mechanisms are connections and open drafting. Chat order is weird. Tyrants of the Underdark, or Ticket to Ride Rails and Sails. Code names, Scott says. Only 2 BGG options. Tyrants of the Underdark, Micah says. Alex got them both. Well, Connect 4? What? I guess, okay, yeah, sure. But there's not open drafting in Connect 4, Vanessa. That's not good. TI4, thank you for the obligatory TI4 guess. I appreciate that. Via Nebula, Scott says, no. If Micah guessed it right, Micah gets it. Micah did not guess it right. Alexander, however, did. So it is Ticket to Ride, Rails, and Sails. Now, Ticket to Ride, Rails, and Sails is a Ticket to Ride game. It's also a lot older than 2016. This is correct. This one got a lot of flack when it came out. Even a lot of people who really enjoyed Ticket to Ride did not like this one very much. And I don't remember why. I liked the idea, and I liked all of the different stuff that came into it. There were new harbors that you could put in. You could travel from one continent to the next. You weren't stuck on one continent the whole game. But there was just something about this game that didn't ring well with people. And Vanessa, you said it, probably correctly. Jeff needs some Christmas cheer and needs the prize. Oh, Alex. Oh, man, that's awesome. So Alex is giving, I guess Alex is giving Jeff his prize, and Jeff is giving his prize to Philip. So, okay. I think that's what it is. If I've got it wrong, somebody please let me know. But those are our two winners so far. Because Jeff is giving his winnings to Philip. So Philip, you need to email me your shipping address information. And then Alex is giving his prize to Jeff. So Jeff, you need to give me your shipping information so we can get all that done. We actually had last week, we had 3 winners, but 2 of them gave their prize winnings to Vince or Vinny, and then there was another one. I can't remember who the third one was, but I know that there were 3 winners last week, and then the 2 winners this week, so we'll get those mailed out. There you go. That looks right to me. There you go. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas revenge prize. Yeah, revenge gifting. If that's what we can do, if that's our level of revenge, gifting people things that are good things, I'm good with that. All right, let's go ahead and get down to the table here. Ticket to Ride, Rails, and Sails. So it's a considerably larger box, first of all. And, oh, looks like I have the Great Lakes expansion in here as well. So there you have it. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I guess it's probably on the other side of the box, but on the other side of the board here. It's a double-sided board. But anyway, so as you're looking at the board here, you can see that it's the world, generally speaking, and then you have some boat lanes that are from one continent to another, and then of course you have the regular train stuff that's in there, and then you can put harbors along the coasts and so forth and so on. But you kind of get the idea there. See the harbors here. So yeah, I'm not absolutely sure exactly what. I don't remember exactly what it was that people didn't like about this, but it's one of those things where I think it was neat. So here we go. As we already kind of, oof, man, maybe it was the board being so big. What in the world? Okay, so here's the Great Lakes side of the board, and I've got it upside down, so let me try to remedy that for you. My goodness gracious, look at the size of that thing. Here's the Great Lakes side of the board. And then you have the world side of the board. Oh, come on, there we go. Trying to do this without tipping my coffee over. But here's the world side of the board, and my goodness, this is huge. I do not remember the board being this big, but here it is. I mean, that is just huge. And so there's the board. You have all of these different trains and boats, and I'll go ahead and just open one of these bags. Just realize that each of these bags has their own little things going on in them. So you have some that are trains, like this. Blink. You can see that. And then you have others that are boats. Blink, just like that. So you have rails and sails. But that's what comes with all of these different things. You get, I think you'll get 165 of these that go into each player's, or maybe not each player gets 165. Maybe it's 165 all together. But anyway, and then there's some extras right here. They always send you extras, so you can have extra stuff in there. But you have different rail cards, and then you also have some cards that can be used. For example, this can be used for a rail or a boat, and then it can also be used to build harbors and so forth. This can be used, again, for either or, but the wilds have both the boat and the locomotive on them, so that's pretty cool. But this is just and again, I'm super drawing a blank. If anybody has a reason, if anybody remembers why people didn't like this game, please let me know. Here's a player aid for how many points you get for those different things. Looks like these are boats. Maybe that was one of the things. You had to draw from 2 different decks, and you were still restricted to drawing 2 cards per thing. Maybe that was part of it. Here are the different tickets that you can have. So some of them are continent specific. Some of them, go from one continent to another. So that's pretty neat. And I think that's the global deck, and then you have the Great Lakes deck over here for the different tickets. But you use the same train cards for both. So anyway, I didn't really see a huge problem. It was just Ticket to Ride again. I mean, I don't. But now that I'm thinking about it, I am starting to understand and starting to remember a little bit that I think it did come down to people didn't like having to draw between 2 different decks in order to get their cards. I think that was probably it. But that wasn't a big deal for me. So that is Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sails, the world, and then the other side is the Great Lakes. So you get basically 2 games in one. Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sails. Let's see. Scott says, AI says, people dislike Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sails primarily because it was too long, bloaty, and complex, losing the simple charm of the original and added bureaucracy and increased luck downtime from managing separate train and ship cards. There you go, making it feel like a grind rather than a fun, quick TTR experience. Though some fans like the added strategy and world map. Well, there you go. I think I might like the Great Lakes map a little bit better. I want to try this one again. Just to, it does take up a rather large chunk on my shelf. So I guess I should play it again to see how I like that. But I guess I'll have to play it twice so that I can play both the Great Lakes and the world side. I played Ticket to Ride at a friend's game night, and I've never played it since. One of the 10 games I finally played last week was Mini Express. That was a fun train game, and I want to play again. I think that was David saying that Ticket to Ride is not a good game, in his illustrious opinion. Or he just never had a recourse to doing it, of playing it again. But maybe he doesn't own it. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If Jeff and Philip meet at a con, they can swap half their prizes to get the pairs of socks to match again. I'm going to send Sam a prize this week, but unfortunately, I'm out of Jeff stickers. That's pretty funny. Just send him Jeffy popcorn stickers. Yeah, that would be cool. Let's see here. And those are... Great Lakes expansion would be the only reason I'd add this game to my collection, seeing how I have been a Michigander all of my life. Well, here's the thing. I don't believe that it's an expansion. I believe that it is part of the base game because that is a double-sided board in there. So I think it's not an expansion. I misspoke earlier. Didn't even like Ticket to Ride New York, which takes 15 minutes to play. I'd probably abhor this. That's probably true, David. This game is just bloated Ticket to Ride. It takes too long to play. So next prize goes to Alex then. Yeah, that's about it. Village Rails is a really fun tiny train game. Pan Am is also a fun route building alternative. See, now maybe I'm just not remembering because I did play a game that makes me think that Pan Am was what it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, see, the the thing I have is that, oh, it's only a 241. Maybe it's not the same. No, Prospero Hall. No, it's not the same that not the same one that I played. I played a game that was very much route building and stocks and all this other kind of stuff, and it was nowhere near as complex as this. And people have lauded that game. I guess it's a different mindset. I don't know. Ticket to Ride is definitely supposed to be a simple, gateway-ish retail monster of a game. And this probably departed from that a little bit. And that's probably why people didn't like it that much. I didn't find a problem with it. But I get what people are saying as far as that's concerned. But still on my shelf, along with a bunch of other Ticket to Ride stuff. I have a whole column of Ticket to Ride stuff over there. I've got the Africa expansion. I've got Ticket to Ride Germany, Ticket to Ride Europe, base Ticket to Ride Markland, which is basically Ticket to Ride Germany, but it's the Markland edition, which has the every single train card in it is a unique card. But then I also have Map Collection 5, 4, 6, 3. I'm missing 1 and 2, and then I also have Nordic countries as well as this. And then I also have Ticket to Ride Amsterdam, San Francisco, New York, Berlin. And there might be another one that I just don't recall right now. But anyway, Ticket to Ride is one of the games where, like, I didn't really enjoy Catan all that much. I did, don't get me wrong. I played the mess out of it. But it just hasn't stuck around like Ticket to Ride has. And I put those two kind of in the same box because they have that same classic appeal or feel, modern classic feel. And so a lot of people look at Catan as the modern day classic. I'm more in the camp that says that Ticket to Ride is. So you have TTRs. Yes, I do. Just triggered balloons twice. LOL. It's the same situation with different Azul games. Yeah, understood. Understood. All right. Well, that's about it. We went pretty fast today. There wasn't a whole lot to look at in each box, but maybe that has something to do with it. Sam has enough fake trains to build a route across the U.S. There might be some truth to that. I'm not absolutely positive, but there might be. There might be indeed. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I do have another video to shoot and edit, so I do need to get going. But I appreciate you guys showing up, and we will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I got to check with Jess. The last couple of times, Jess has had things scheduled, and I didn't know she had things scheduled to do on her off time between her 2 split shifts. So I've been saying that she's going to be here, and she hasn't been. So I'm reserving. I'm not saying anything. So tomorrow, we're either going to do something, Jess and I, or I'm going to play something solo tomorrow, and you'll just have to wait for that to be scheduled later on this evening after I get to talk to Jess about it. And we'll thank you for it. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.